All right, what's going on, everybody? It's Chris here, Better Investing. Today is Thursday, December 18th, 2025. One more day left in the market. Holidays are next week. Um, Slight bounce in the market today, honestly. Nothing, too crazy, I would say. Um, I think the thing to do really is just kind of just observe the hourly. And just, you can try, you know, longs, shorts at certain locations with reasonable risk. I think that was kind of what you kind of saw today, what was kind of presented, honestly. Um, let's just first start looking at SPY and QQQ, and we'll just kind of go from there. Um, we'll check out on things. Are we out of the woodworks yet? No. Is it a possibility? Yes, I will. I will agree to that. Um, I don't think it's a situation where you're just trying to go long at every bounce and short at every short, but ideal locations. I think it presents a good opportunity if you're a day trader. There's been some intraday type of moves where you're able to kind of get a nice sizable move. I know that. Let me see. Like if I do this, all right. Bring up my. All right. So again, really the thing I'm looking at honestly is first that okay, yeah, we've kind of bottomed down here and we did gap up. But did we get any really like strong continuation today? No. Not the strongest continuation. I know that some people was looking at it from like, oh, CPI came in good. CPI is not the theme right now. The theme is these fucking AI stocks, and whether they are going to be profitable or not. And really, like what I was continuing to watch was not only SPY and QQQ and hourly, but SMH as well. And yeah, SMH bounced off of its lows, but it is still trading and it struggled near the 50-day moving average. And it's not the type of thing where you short every candle, but you if I don't know, if this doesn't present a short opportunity, if you were thinking about it, as it sequences this lower high on the hourly, I honestly think you're biased in terms of like this direction that we're currently in right now. You can have a longer term trend, right? Longer term idea, but right now, um, I mean, we're just not out of the woodworks, and I would be a little in between. But if you wanted to take a trade and say, you know what, this trend is down, that's correct, right? Is this a presenter? Is this a presentable opportunity? Possibly. Again, I don't trade the indices, but if a stock had set up like this and it put in that lower high, I think you could potentially have done so. And it'd have been just you being able to interpret price action, like knowing that this is that level on the hourly chart. And as you can see, as we melt right back through there and we close back through there, you got followed through all the way back down to the bottom of the range. Same sequence that occurred again, all the way down to the bottom of the range. Like if you're not able to interpretate that, on an intraday, I think all right, cool. But for those that can, I mean, as you can see, that's been ideal location. So, some people say, well, how many times does that work? But probably not often, right? But if your risk to reward is reasonable, there you can take this setup multiple times, and still be profitable. Definitely kind of considering that one, we are relatively weak, right? You can't say that we're really strong in terms of what has occurred here on the daily, right? This isn't strong price action, right? Have we kind of put in a bottom here? Perhaps, right? But right now, we kind of just rolled over from all-time highs. Remember, we popped in this area after hours when AVGL reported, and AVGL pulled back something significantly. AVGL is at 329 now, and the market has kind of um, used that information along with other baskets of stocks. Is like, okay, well, there's not really a big a, a big what I want to say. There's not really a big set of buyers really that are interested, and that's really what I was just trying to identify. And again, just looking at the hourly, like if a again, I don't trade the indices, but like if I anymore. But like if I were to take a trade like this on a, a short setup, I mean, just think about the risk to reward there. Again, you're going into a prevailing trend. I don't see how this would be interpreted um, any otherwise. I mean, I guess you can look at the weekly, but like if we go look at the weekly, like go look at the weekly. Does the weekly really impress you here? Like, is that a weekly, candle you're looking to buy? I don't think so. Maybe if it was looking like this, then yeah, but it looks like that. So I mean, the weekly doesn't look as as bullish. The daily, damn for sure, doesn't look as bullish, and the hourly doesn't look bullish either. So I mean, yeah, you're trying to catch a bounce. You have to be gapped up. Unfortunately, we right now what we've done is we put in a higher low, but to grab this hourly low here, it's kind of hard knowing that it could easily fail. Rather, you seeing this sequence here on the on the, let me do this. Like on the hourly, like man, this has the potential to make another lower high, right? What we do, right? We pop, we drop, right? Okay, we got a high, right? Sequence of a lower high, pop back again, drop some more, another sequence of like just lower highs along the board here, and lower lows across the board. So, will I be different if tomorrow we kind of show some strength from here? Yeah, absolutely. Right, but right now I wouldn't say that sellers are underwater or sellers are stuck. Right now it's working in their favor technically. From a technicality perspective, it's working in our favor. And I think this location right here, um, you did want to kind of see us get put in a higher low and then kind of take that out today, right? If we stick down here into the end of the week, that's not going to look like a good weekly candle. So it'd be nice if we can kind of climb out of this downtrend on the hourly, at least for the end of the week. I think that was the biggest thing that I was kind of thinking about. Looking at the SPY and the QQQ. Not looking at SM. Let's go look at SMH. So like for example, we got here on SMH, right? SMH had a nasty day yesterday. And when you look at this, whenever it loads up, again, this is one of those situations where we are in a downtrend. For the last, I mean, damn near for, I wouldn't say the month, but this trend has been broken. And it just looks like it done rolled over, right? This is not action that you're like, okay, maybe we have a bottom here. I mean, I don't feel like we gapped down and flushed everybody out, then reverse. We gapped up, right? It's a difference. If we gap down, then undercutting go, fine. We gapped up. It's a little different. And if this was going to be a situation where we like lock this potential area out, then I would want to see this potential candle be that higher low, and then we push and go higher for the rest of the day. I don't want to see us kind of not defend this area and actually kind of lose it into the end of the day. So that was the biggest takeaway I saw across all the major stocks that I'm watching. I was able to dig. Now again, I intraday trade. I was able to catch Tesla for a nice move. Got stopped out on the rest. Let me see if I can go to Tesla real fast. I can show you exactly where I got in at. So we're gonna look at Tesla real fast. All right, so on Tesla again, I like to use areas or locations on the chart where I think it could hold, and again that's all based on your time frame you're looking at and everything like that. I got in down here. We go to like a 2 minute. And again, I'm an intraday trader. I will admit that. So for those that don't intraday trade, fuck off. Good luck with your swing trades. There's multiple ways to make money in the market. Your way is not the exact way. And again, I'm not trying to become a millionaire overnight. But I was able to kind of get this undercut of VWAP. I added to strength. I sold out up here at 984. I mean 484. And then I got some back below 488. I just stopped out. I wanted to see it continue to go higher, and this is the previous all-time level that it continued to struggle at. And then, as you can see, we popped back into 488.54, and then we just sold off again. So I'm able to see that in terms of looking at the price action. Some are not. Some see something different, and I think that's what makes markets. Everyone's not going to see the same thing. But I don't think you have to downgrade someone else's perspective on it, on what they see on the market, and think that um, what they see is not possible because no one knows. So and then you have Bitcoin looking like shit. So I'm in the I would say more leaning bearish the way everything is looking here. And folks disagree. Again, I think that's what makes markets. I'm not positioned in a bearish perspective. I'm positioned intraday using those theses. If things will flip, I will flip my thesis as well. That's what helps me navigates the market. I'm just trying to follow momentum. You do get periods where you get chopped up. That's where you might need to take a step back, right? Where you're like, all right, things are not working in my favor. I don't think that we're going this particular direction. I don't think we're going this particular direction. And you bet against that. You're just using smaller size. So, that's what I'm leaning right now. So, yeah, man, I think that's about it. I mean, we got Friday tomorrow. Well, we'll see what happens. If we gap down tomorrow or something like that. But um, I think that hourly signal that we got on SPY, a lot of people say you don't short the red candle, but that definitely gives you a great opportunity. If you want to think that this trend continuation is going to continue, based on what you see, based on the sentiment in the market, based on some of the relative stocks that we follow that's been thematic on the year, then yeah, I think you consider that. So like when we look at some of these the AI basket off the Micron news, he's got no follow through off that Micron news. So inside day, right? Did we establish a higher low? Don't know, but right now, I mean, are you bullish or bearish? I'll be leaning that we're going to probably pull down more, based on what I see right now on the charts. We go look at BE, something very similar, right? You got that news, and this AI basket just really hasn't shown anything, in terms of like, all right, let's continue to rip higher. We'll see what happens tomorrow. Irene, not a bad close here. Inside day for the most part. No, but some of the other ones like I just showed, they weren't really as bouncy as you thought they would have been. So yeah, again, NBIS, this was up, not NBIS, but I think it was BE was up towards like 83. Let's go look at GEV. This was one that was nasty. This came all the way down into the 100-day inside day, gapped up, finished towards the lows in the bottom, I would say, of this large candle. So yeah, I mean that's kind of what I see. Let's go check out SNDK because this was one that was up after markets. Now you will want to see that finish green. I think I would want to see this finish near towards the highs, not the middle of this range. It's still showing some relative weakness. So that's about all I got. We'll see what happens Friday. We'll just go from there, people. Hopefully you're able to again, number one, manage risk, not have no specific bias right now in the market. I think be relatively quick to possibly flipping, right? Like for example, again, I did not take this trade, but I would understand someone that did take this trade on, like I said, on SPY and QQQ. I think SPY was the more cleaner trade, but it did look relatively, I would say, where's it at? Are we on the right trade? No, not this one. Right? So I know some people like it's this I guess immediate trend reverse. I don't really follow, and I was like, well, maybe this is the situation. We undercut the VWAP, and they rebid it up. All right, but we didn't even continue on the trend. So, I mean, the hourly looks more to be the thing that I'm looking at here, and that was the main thing, I think. So again, if you were intraday trading this, let's go back to SPY real fast. If you're intraday trading this, looking at this again, I'm not saying you would, buy a 0DT, but say if you wanted to, try a short up there. I mean, what's wrong with using, this particular chart, and saying, all right, I'm willing to bet that this potentially goes back down on this break right here, and you risk, the top of that candle range. Now, if you can identify that, this potentially is a solid risk to reward, 37 cents. Even down to VWAP probably gives you a 2-to-1 risk to reward, right? Damn near 2-to-1 risk to reward, and all we down here is a um, a 9-to-1 risk to reward. It's been ideal location. So yeah, don't try to be a no brainiac and try to see something that everyone else doesn't see. Just see what the market is showing you. So, all right, folks, that's all for me, man. Peace. God bless.